Hello, and welcome to the this reading of the novelization of Jingle All The Way. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but here we go. In the television studio of a great metropolitan center, all the monitors interrupted regular programming with a brightly colored special bulletin announcement card. An anchorman sped toward his news desk, weaving effortlessly through the seeming chaos of a crew jumping on a breaking story. Around the desk, cameramen wheeled into position, techs scurried to adjust lights and microphones, and a stage manager counted backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2. Instead of saying 1, the stage director silently pointed his index finger directly at the news anchor, a handsome man with the build of a football player. The anchorman, Ed McGuire, I think, whatever, Ed McGuire began to speak to the camera. The president, first lady, and their son, Billy, have been kidnapped by the evil mutant Dementor. Ed fixed a steely eye on the camera lens peering into the heart of America. All across the country, helpless citizens are asking one question. The camera zoomed in, the studio monitors filling with Ed's face. Turbo Man, where are you? The news show producer clapped the cameras on the back, yelling, "And cut!" He turned towards the news desk. "Good job, Ed." But Ed was gone, and his chair was spinning behind the desk. Ed? Ed? Ed had ran down the hall towards the storage room near the studio, loosening his tie and chuckling off his jacket on the way. A moment later, a flash of jet-propelled red and gold zoomed out of the storage window and up into the sky. America's question had been answered. Turbo Man was on the way. The alien spacecraft nestled in a corner of a rocky box canyon that was colored the dusty gray of a moonscape. From beneath the spacecraft, a trio of battle-suited thugs wearing helmets that looked like salt shakers hustled the first family down a ramp to the ground. The prisoners, the president, the first lady, and their son, 9-year-old Billy, their hands tied securely behind their backs, were marched from the ship across the floor of the canyon to the base of an enormous mega cannon. The president, a middle-aged man whose plump face bore the manner of someone who was more used to giving orders than taking them, grumbled under his breath each time his guards shoved him to direct his movement. His wife, with her impeachable wardrobe, her stylish coifted hair, and her much-tucked face, tried to pretend that this was all just a distasteful dream. Only young Billy faced his captors with open defiance, thrusting out his chin and looking around for their captor, the evil Dementor. A hum of power split the silence, and the gathering of the gears rattled the grounds as the barrels of the great weapon suddenly lifted slowly, pointing up in the blackness of space. A large display screen in the control bay at the base of the weapon lit up, creating a pool of light in the shadow of the gray cliffs into which a sinister figure strode. "So, Mr. President," called Dementor, his green cape swaying as he walked, the bright light winking off his blue and green battle armor. "Would you care to take a look?" He gestured towards the display with one steel gauntlet. The display screen showed a view of a blue and white marble against a black background, quartered by crosshairs on the center of North America. The president's eyes widened in shock. Why, that's the Earth, he gasped. Dementor turned to the president in mid-shock. Well, I guess public opinion must be wrong, he purred. You're not a complete moron. The villain quaked with laughter. He gave a hand signal, and his 3 henchmen, the demon team, hustled the prisoners back against the canyon wall. There they watched in horror as Dementor punched buttons and flipped switches to arm the mega cannon. As he worked, Dementor called over his shoulders, "In a few minutes, my nega gun will be fully activated, and when fired at your pathetic planet, will completely eliminate its so-called gravity. And then taxes won't be the only thing that keeps rising." The First Lady wept, trying to block out Dementor's insane crackle. Next to her, the president looked to bargain with the evil mutant. "Look, maybe we can cut a deal here. You want a cabinet post? How about," he thought hard, Secretary of Evil?" "Save your breath, Mr. President," Dementor sneered. "You're going to need it." Suddenly, one of the canyon walls erupted in a shower of rocks and dust. "Look!" shouted Billy. "It's Turbo Man and Booster!" One of the billowing clouds of debris... out of the billowing clouds of debris, a muscular male figure descended to the ground on a stream of flame that blasted from a jetpack on his back. Gleaming golden boots settled onto lunar soil as the hero landed, hands on hips in classic superhero style. A second behind, in a tad off-center, Turbo Man's faithful sidekick, Booster, had landed. The pink saber-toothed tiger reared back on its hind legs in imitated Turbo Man stance. Turbo Man voice. You know what? This is just stupid. I'm going to skip the first chapter. Because it's just not even the movie. Alright. It's just showing the episode of Turbo Man, which no one really needs to watch, because Turbo Man saves the day, beats up Dementor, no one cares. It's not even that essential to the plot of the movie. All it does is show that Jamie loves Turbo Man. But, like, it has no point in the movie. I can't do girl voices, but this is just Billy and his mom. And go to the crisp. I'm gonna skip to chapter 2. As the loud Christmas party in the warehouse was, Howard Langston already barely knew it, and I messed up that. This is Arnold. I'm not even gonna bother finishing this reading. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna skip to where Arnold and Sinbad meet. Chapter 4, maybe? Howard, it's Christmas Eve. Why are you running to the office? He has to pick up the doll. Just watch the movie. You don't need me to fucking read this. I don't know why I agreed to even do this. It was gonna take over an hour. We're hitting like the 10-minute mark right now. And I think I'd be done with chapter 1 by now. Maybe. if I was lucky. And since I don't really want to do this all day, I'll look up good quotes from the movie and do them, I guess. Because this is just a dumb thing I said I could do. And then I realized I couldn't do it. So, these cookies are delicious. Because I'm banging your wife, or I want to bang your wife. I bang all these other wives because I'm the stupid neighbor. Like, that's all he does. That's his whole fucking character. In a nutshell. He basically fakes loving his kid. He loves his kid, whatever. But he just gets with all the moms. It's like some subtext. Part of the movie subplot where he's trying to get with the wife. Yeah, it was Ted. He gets the fucking reindeer, which is dumb as shit. Let's see. But yeah, Ted's like subplot with Liz is that Ted wants to bang Liz. She's basically fucked all the other moms in the neighborhood, but like all the other moms are single moms, I guess. Or they've all had affairs with Ted. Well, Arnold, Howard, is played by Arnold, is running around with Sinbad, trying to get a stupid Turbo Man doll on Christmas Eve. But apparently everyone else in the world also wants to get that Turbo Man on Christmas Eve. Which seems ridiculously stupid, even for the 90s when this is supposed to take place. But it's really dumb. Where is... It just says the mailman. And then it says Myron. Sinbad's character. I should just do a review of the movie. But I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to finish reading this stupid book. Because I can't read for shit. So Arnold and Sinbad try to get Turbo Man on Christmas Eve, which is really fucking dumb. Well, not that they have to get the gift on Christmas Eve, but the fact that everyone else in the fucking universe has to get a Turbo Man or some kind of toy on Christmas Eve too. But, it's a movie. Gotta exaggerate things. So at the first store, Arnold can't get Turbo Man, and neither can Sinbad, because some old lady gets it. Arnold chases down the old lady and tries to buy it off her, but that doesn't happen. it's not a subplot, but you have how Sinbad's character Myron wanted that Johnny 05 gun toy thing. That could be like 5 guns at once. It was like 5 different guns. When you put them together, they made one big gun thing. It's his character. It's his motivation for trying to get the Turbo Man for his own son. Besides that's part of the main plot, really. Is like the the contrast between, big strong man Arnold, who's trying to just play a regular everyday dude in this, versus Sinbad's crazy comedic ways as a mailman. But one of the other subplots besides Ted, the neighbor, trying to fuck every mom in the fucking neighborhood, is the cop, and how Arnold keeps fucking up his day. Like, I think first he knocks down his bike, or let me check. Just breathe into the mic like an idiot. Yeah. No, wait. That's when Sinbad introduces himself to Arnold for whatever reason other than they're waiting for this toy store to open. I'm just trying to find where the cop is, because that's a subplot. Myron being called a moron. Both of their sons want Turbo Man. Now, Sinbad, Myron, fucking post dude, goes on the rant about how they created the toy is a ploy created by rich and powerful toy cartels, a bunch of fat cats taking advantage of us poor working stiffs. They advertise all over TV, create this frenzy, use subliminal messages to make every kid in America think he's a worthless piece of garbage if his daddy doesn't buy him some cheap plastic little toy. Myron wants to get his hands on the guys and squeeze his soft pink little neck until his beady little eyes pop out of the sockets. That's fucking weird. And how, for some reason, these retail workers are being complete and utter fucking assholes in the middle of still the busiest shopping time of the year. It starts in November with fucking Black Friday and ends like after New Year's, like a week or two. 'Cause, people get Christmas money. Whatever. Okay, so these two idiot workers are being assholes, saying they got plenty of fucking boosters but no Turbo Mans, and laughing in Arnold's face. So fucking Arnold picks up the clerks by the collar and lifts them both with ease. Even though Arnold's supposed to be a regular everyday guy, he's still a fucking giant bodybuilder. And these dudes are like, oh fuck. Because Arnold's like, where's your Christmas spirit? Terrible Arnold impersonation. Ah. Oh. No, the old lady doesn't buy the Turbo Man. She had it on layaway. It was the last one in the store. So they try to chase her down. And how he chases the lady out. This is 33 pages in. Getting on to chapter 5. He's like, he'll offer her 3 times. Then he offers her 3 times as much for her bag. She's like, alright. He fucking pays her, and then all he gets is a booster doll. He throws it in a trash can nearby. And when he does that, he sees the actual lady who got it. He tries running her down. But he can't get to her. So he just fucking overpaid for a shitty booster doll that no one wanted. So he starts running around trying to find it. And how Howard would go into a toy store, ask for a Turbo Man doll, then burn with humiliation as each and every shop clerk laughed in his face. Like complete and utter fucking assholes who apparently don't want their jobs. 'Cause retail work sucks cock. The fat ones. I don't know from experience, but from hearing other people, it sucks, especially around the holidays. But you don't be a fucking asshole like that during the busiest time of the year. Even though you want to be an ass, because the customers are being complete and utter fuckheads too. But you gotta have the job, so you keep it. But these fuckers, they either laugh at him, but some are nice and just snicker and giggle with suppressed merriment. Like, it could just be construed as holiday spirit if you play your cards right. Instead of, just being like, haha, can't find the Turbo Man, can you? No, dickhead. It's fucking Christmas Eve. You really expect to find a Turbo Man doll now? Idiot. And you get beat up by Arnold. That comes later. Most of them took malicious glares, pointing out to anyone that within earshot. Oh yeah, then you got the ones that don't just snicker and giggle like they're trying to save their jobs, but they're like, this is kind of ridiculous that this guy's trying to get this Turbo Man this late in the season, like the day before Christmas. But most of them just fucking gave Arnold the stink eye and was like, hey, and pointed at him being like, look at this dumbass who tried to get Turbo Man now. Which gets you fired, but whatever. Hours have gone by and he's only been able to find Turbo Man dolls. Even Z-Mart chains, which is fucking dumb. Ooh, and this is where Liz is making the cookies and Ted walks in for whatever reason. This is where Ted, again, is trying to get with Liz. Because it's a subplot for some reason. I don't know why it had to be in the movie. You could have just had the annoying neighbor. And he goes to the phone. He calls. You get that classic Ted just helping out Liz in the kitchen. She's baking up a storm here. And Ted's being not a freak, but he's like, she's in the shower. Should I go check? And it's like, no. It's like, oh wow, these cookies. I gotta get the recipe from Liz. It's like, put the cookie down now. And Ted's being a bitch. It's like, what? And he like hangs up. And Arnold's mad. But Sinbad comes up. He's like, sorry about whacking you back at the toy store. I guess I let the spirit of friendly competition get to me. And Arnold's just like, yeah, whatever. It's cool. It's no problem, really. Myron's like, I think you might have done that yourself. And Arnold's like, no, I don't think so. And then they're like, should we team up? And Myron's like, no, Myron's like, we should team up. And Arnold's like, I don't know. And Myron's like, come on. And Arnold's like, Myron, you seem cool. Like a good guy. It's just something I'd like to do myself, you know? Gets mad. Myron gets mad. Fancy car, fancy shoes, whatever. Oh, and that there was that another guy at the phone bank, you know, where the phones were before Arnold called home about and talked about the cookies with Ted. He's trying to also get a Turbo Man. He said he might have to go out of state, but he'll get it. He's running past him like last minute Turbo Man. delivery at Toy Works. So Arnold and Sinbad rush to their cars. I'm not going to keep calling. I'm going to switch between Myron and Howard and Arnold and Sinbad because I can. So they're running to their cars. Here it is. Here comes the subplot about Arnold and the cops. That one cop dude. So Arnold's backing his Jeep up. In a smooth maneuver, he backed up and bleeped out into the street. However, that was Myron. Howard was the second behind him. He fired up the Suburban and threw it into reverse and plowed into a parked police motorcycle, which toppled over and landed with the sharp sound of breaking glass. Howard grimaced, looking into his rearview mirror, then hugged his head. He heard the tick-tock of approaching boots. Here comes the cop. He's like, "You broke my little mirror." And apparently, the cop is named Officer Hummel. So there's that. And then after that, Arnold, they go to the Mall of America, to get to Toy Works. And the manager is telling him to get in line and pick a numbered ball. The numbers will be drawn. He says the balls will be drawn in a standard lottery fashion, but it's always the numbers. It doesn't matter if you have red, blue, yellow, green. The color of the ball never mattered. If you're just trying to get one, you're just trying to get a lucky number. But they probably had some system where the color of the ball mattered too. Because, I mean, they're trying to sell these. Oh, and the manager is also like, the price is doubled because of supply and demand, which they can't really just do that. That's price gouging. The manager would get thrown in jail, and the store would probably shut down or have to be under new management. So the people are still handing out not the manager, but employees are stuck handing out the balls. And then Arnold tries to bribe the manager, who's standing there with the megaphone being a dick, talking into it the whole time. He gets pushed to the back of the line. And then someone shook his fist at him, and someone else took a swing, and chaos ensued. Somehow someone knocked over the box, even though they were saying they were buckets earlier. Whatever, and the ping pong balls start flying everywhere. This is where Arnold has to run around, try and find it. Ends up going to that playground in Mall of America. And he gets beat up by the moms because they think he's a creep. Because this fucking kid got the ball. He's just like, the ping pong ball thing's useless to the kid. But to Arnold, it could mean the chance between getting a Turbo Man and not. Even though, with him running around trying to get the ball, he still doesn't get it. Then goes to Santa. Santa's like, hey, buddy. And Santa's like, you want a Turbo Man? And Santa's like, yeah, right. Howard's like, yeah, right. And then Santa's like, this guy doesn't want our help. He's talking to the elf. So it's like, wait, we're all businessmen. We can work something out. And Santa's like, you got the cash, we got the doll. Howard's like, how much? He's taking out his wallet, and Santa's like, whoa, you crazy? Santa never delivers gifts in broad daylight. And Santa's like, we can't talk here. Gotta go to the sleigh. Or your sleigh. It's like his car. They're driving up to a warehouse. Get out the car, walk to the door, and knock, the secret knock and key, which is Jingle Bells. Door opens. There's all the there's the Santas, a couple of Mrs. Clauses, a bunch of elves, like frozen position as they looked at the new, Arnold Howard. He walks in, counting cash, and the Santa Howard came in told the elf Tony, get the man the Turbo Man. And this is, Arnold's figured out by now that, Mrs. Claus is counting cash. All these toys. Something doesn't seem right. It's like, Santa tells him that doesn't seem ethical, and Santa's like, what? What do you mean? You were beating up the kid for a fucking ping pong ball. We're unethical? Yeah, right. We're providing a service here. Us guys in the mall work hard this time of year. The pay stinks. We get every strain of virus from flu. Every virus and flu from the kids. And they gotta clean up all the puke and diaper accidents the babies have. But he says, like, they're not doing it for them. They're doing it for the kids. Or it's like raising his eyebrow, like, the kids. And then the Santa goes on. About the kids who sit on the Santa's lap, and for the hundreds of dreams that they hear every day, a certain game, a specific doll. In our hearts, we know the most of you idiots are too wrapped up in your jobs or material problems to ever take note, to even care. The thought of those kids waking up Christmas morning without that special gift breaks his heart. And Arnold asks another question, like where he's asking where it all comes from. And Santa's like, "Who are you, the Question King?" And then Tony comes with the Turbo Man doll. He's got to pay $300 for it. And then Arnold is like, "Where'd your ideas go? Thought you were doing it for the kids." Santa's like, "Yeah, sure. But I don't see why we can't pick up some loose change while we're at it." And apparently, $300 is loose change. But he handed them the money. And started to look at the doll. And started talking Korean. And Santa's like, "It's multilingual. It's fun and educational." Trying to save his ass, even though this is like a bootleg Korean Turbo Man that's gonna fall apart. And this is where the fight starts. And Arnold's calling them scuzzy Santas, which is weird, but alright. Then the fight happens, basically. One punched him in the jaw. One Santa punched Howard in the jaw. And all shapes and sizes of Santas come to beat him up. He blocks a kick from a Kung Fu Santa. Then spun him around and throw him at more Santas. And now Mrs. Clauses are starting to take bets from elves and the Santas that aren't fighting for, make some cash. And then the Big Show, dressed as Santa, comes up. And he's going to deck. And he says, I'm going to quote this from the book. Actually, I'm going to back up a bit. All right, this is after the Clauses and elves are betting. Suddenly, the crowd of opponents parted before Howard. From the back of the warehouse came the biggest Santa that Howard had ever seen. This giant replica of the Jolly Elf shrugged his red coat to reveal a massive torso ripped with muscle. He smiled wickedly at Howard and rumbled in a deep bass voice, "I'm gonna deck your halls, bud." That's the Big Show. I'm trying to get a copyright date right now. 96. I'm not sure if it would be the Big Show or the Giant. It's the same guy. It's just a Big Show. So they start fighting. Trying to beat each other up. Then Vern Troyer is a Santa, because Vern Troyer's in this, dressed up as like a little mini-me Santa. Jumps up behind Howard. Wait, what is it? Howard knew that his only chance lay in ending the fight quickly, as a big and strong Howard might be. The sheer bulk of the Big Show Santa would overpower him as soon as his first rush of energy passed. And Howard threw caution to the wind and himself too. He charged at the giant Santa in an all-out blitz attack, trying to do a spear move from WWE, basically. Caught unprepared. Wait, did I miss it? I think I missed a part. Yeah. A fist the size of a ham clipped Howard's jaw, knocking him back. It's a Big Show punching Arnold in the jaw. Really? It doesn't even show the best part, or even describe the best part of the fight. That's when Arnold picks up the candy cane in an attempt to fight. Well, he was using the candy cane to fight the Santas. Right. And, the Big Show comes out, says he's going to jingle his bells because, no, he's going to deck his halls for some reason because they needed Big Show to say a Christmas pun before kicking his ass. But, during that, Vern Troyer, dressed as Santa, jumps onto Arnold's back. Right? Attacking him from there. Alright? This is the fight with the Big Show, too. Vern Troyer is trying to help the Big Show beat up Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? So Vern's on Arnold's back, punching him in the head and stuff. And then, Big Show takes a swing. Not like a hook or an uppercut, but just like a straight punch. And somehow Arnold ducks enough so that he doesn't get hit in the face. But Vern Troyer fucking flies across the warehouse and lands in this big pile. I think he either hits a wall or he hits this giant pile of toys, like Christmas boxes, presents, which is pretty weird, pretty damn awesome. It's like one of the best scenes in the movie where Arnold is fighting the Big Show, and the Big Show accidentally punches Vern Troyer across the fucking room. You can't tell that it's Vern Troyer unless you really look, but that's him, and he gets punched across the room by Big Show, and it looks like he's even doing his own stunts in the movie, which is pretty cool. But this movie is just full of these big crowd scenes. Big crowd in front of the toy store before it opens. Big crowds at Mall of America where they filmed the part with Arnold running after the ping pong ball. And then the big crowd of Santas. The big fight. It starts off with Turbo Man show, and establishing the fact that Jamie wants the Turbo Man. And then you got Howard at work, like a work party. He's doing some business, calling all of his customers his number one customer. Even calls his wife his number one customer out of like habit, since he's trying to finish these deals before the year ends. And like, the thing with the cop happens in the movie, at least, when Arnold is like speeding through traffic trying to get to Jamie's karate tournament, even though he's only turning to like yellow or red belt or something. He's not even a black belt yet. And Arnold says, as Howard, that he's a black belt. But this is basically becoming a synopsis of the movie. But that's the first time the cop subplot happens. The main plot isn't even like the first thing we see. Well, it kind of is when it establishes that Jamie wants the Turbo Man. But from there, we go into the subplot about how Ted, the neighbor, wants to fuck Howard's wife, Liz. Basically, because both of their kids are in karate, and Ted is videotaping it because Howard can't be there. Howard gets there late. But as Howard is rushing to the karate tournament, not tournament, but ceremony, he gets pulled over by the cop. So there's 3 plots of this movie so far. The main plot with the Turbo Man stuff, the Ted wants to fuck Liz subplot, the subplot with the cop. Then it goes to like, back to the main plot about how Jamie wants the Turbo Man, wants to be like Turbo Man, how Turbo Man wouldn't have missed the fucking tournament, Turbo Man this, Turbo Man that. But Howard's like, remember this thing? You love that. This thing we did together, wasn't that great? And Jamie's like, yeah. And Howard's like, not explicitly telling Jamie that he'll get the Turbo Man, but it's like kind of implied that like Jamie's been wishing for the Turbo Man for Christmas and shit. So it's kind of like implied that he's gonna get it. Then it goes to Christmas Eve, and Howard wakes up. He's got to go get the doll. Goes to the toy store, meets Sinbad. Here's where the 4th subplot comes in, which ends up like becoming the second main plot. It becomes part of the main plot, but it's kind of a subplot too. So you got the main plot, which is Jamie wants a Turbo Man doll. Howard, played by Arnold, needs to get it. Then you got Sinbad and Arnold trying to find the Turbo Man. It's not really much of a plot as in itself, as it's just the two like as rivals. And you got the Ted trying to fuck Liz thing, and you got the cop thing. Now, while Sinbad and Arnold are trying to find the Turbo Man. Ted's being the creep, trying to get with Liz. And then you get the phone conversation between Howard and Ted. Or Arnold as Howard tells Ted to put the cookies down. You know, don't check on the wife in the shower, even though she's technically not in the shower, I guess. But it's just Ted trying to be like a creep or whatever, trying to get with Liz. And after the phone conversation, Sinbad's like, hey, Arnold, we should team up and try and get the Turbo Man. Be a lot easier with 2 people instead of 1. Even though they're still trying to get 2 dolls instead of 1, but whatever. So then, you know, some other guy that was on the phones, you know, like the phone area Arnold was talking to Ted on. He's like, ooh, there's this new shipment at the toy place at Mall of America. So Sinbad and Arnold rush to get the hell over there. And in the rush, Arnold knocks over the cop's bike, breaks the mirror, gets fined. Alright. So then you get the Mall of America thing, with Arnold chasing a ping pong ball, trying to get it away from the toddler kid, or he still doesn't get the Turbo Man. Then you get a nice scene with with fighting Santas in the Big Show, and Vern Troyer getting punched across the room. Then the cops show up, which is where we are in the book. We would be here 55 pages in if I didn't skip everything. This is where the cops show up. And that main Santa guy's like, it's the Grinch. And everyone starts moving out. And so Arnold picks up a fake toy police badge out of a box. It's like, this is the sloppiest bust I've ever seen. The other cops are like, what? He flashes the toy badge like super quick, like they do in movies and TV shows, or like someone's trying to be a cop, so they just like whoop, they show the fake badge. He's like, he's saying he's undercover. He's been working this case for 3 years. The commissioner's gonna be fucking mad. Then he leaves. Then he fat shames some dude by poking his belly and tell him he's sloppy, flabby, weak disgrace. And he like flashes the badge twice more to get out. Then he fucking ditches it out the window in a car when he's getting out of there. Oh, and then the car engine blows up. He's got to get the car towed. But he's got to go to get the fucking tow truck or whatever. So cuts back to the house with Jamie and Johnny and the reindeer right before going to the parade. Because apparently Ted got a fucking reindeer, which is the dumbest thing ever. You know, Johnny says that his dad wasn't cool until him and his mom split. Johnny's like, yeah, maybe your parents Should get a divorce. Did wonders for my dad, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, really? Just because your dad was probably was probably cheating on your mom. That's why they split up. And somehow you get custody. The dad gets custody of you. And now he's being super cool because he doesn't have to worry about getting caught cheating. He can go and bang in as many other fucking moms as he wants. I don't know. It's just to be like, oh, Jamie's sad that his dad's not here, kind of thing. Which just ties into the whole subplot about Ted wanting to fuck his mom, Ted wanting to fuck Liz, and ties into the plot of Howard trying to get the Turbo Man for Jamie. So you get him in. So it cuts back to the Arnold at the diner, and like how he just manages to push the damn thing into the parking lot. And he goes to call the house. He calls Jamie. Or Jamie picks up the phone. He's trying to cheer him up. And he's like, get your mom. And he's like, he can't. Why not? She's with Ted. She's what? And Arnold is like, just get your mom. He's like, yeah, I'm coming home soon, but I gotta talk to your mom. Because you promised you'd be at the parade. And Jamie's like, if you make a promise, you should definitely keep it, because Turbo Man would. And Howard's like, I've had it enough with Turbo Man. Alright. He doesn't give a fuck about Turbo Man. He just wants to talk to mom. He's like, then he's like, fuck. Sorry, Jamie. Didn't mean to yell. All this crap. And Jamie's like, you don't know how to keep promises. You don't do anything. You never do whatever you say you're gonna do. Ever. He hangs up. And so Arnold goes to the counter and gets some coffee. And who shows up other than fucking Sinbad? Drinking some booze or whatever. They both don't have any luck getting it. Both sitting there drinking coffee. It's like, you're not a bad dad because you didn't get him the toy. You're a bad dad because you yelled at him over the phone for no reason. That's what makes him a bad dad. And how Myron's like, I used to be the hero to my kids, but now I'm nothing. He works 24/7, 365. So his son can have whatever he wants. But all he sees is his old man missing his ball games, birthday parties, whatever. But there's one day we gotta, he's saying how like Christmas is the one day he can make up for not for like missing all his shit for working, that he's not a total fuck up. Even though this is like a PG movie, so don't say fuck. He says screw up, but you know he means fuck up, like, cause we're adults. Then Arnold starts talking about how he quit his job to start his own business and he barely had enough money to pay the bills right before Jamie started school. So he built him a clubhouse. And he was like, the door's a little crooked and the roof doesn't stay on straight. But Jamie's face like lit up and he was excited. And it was like the greatest thing ever made for him for Christmas. And how Jamie made them eat Christmas dinner in the clubhouse. And how that's when he was the hero. And I was like, now look at me. Now look at me. I can't even like... Oh, yeah. Now look at me. I can buy him whatever he wants. And he can't even find the Turbo Man. And he can't even find the Turbo Man toy. Even though he's got like all this money to do this shit with. Oh. It was the Johnny Sai 7 OMA guns that Myron wanted. The one-man army, 7 guns and 1 toy from like the 50s or whatever. And how how Myron's neighbor got one. And how his neighbor Henry Stranger is now like the CEO of Stranger Industries. And how he used to be Myron's neighbor and now he's the fucking CEO, a billionaire, and Myron's a fucking postman loser. And it doesn't explicitly say, like in the movie, Myron takes out like a flask bottle of liquor from his jacket, pours some into his coffee or into Howard's coffee, and drinks some himself. And Howard's just like, it's a stupid doll. You gotta be out there somewhere. And how the radio station WKRS and if you can call in and name all 7 of Santa's reindeer, you can be the winner of your own Turbo Man. And how, like, Myron, like, somehow Sinbad yanks the receiver cord out of the payphone so that he can win and Howard doesn't. How Howard is just like chanting Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. The other guy, and whoever was on the phone says Randy, Jeremy, and Tito. And the next caller was like, Lancer, Flasher, Nixon. It's like, nope. Howard's like, I know the answer. Howard breaks into the station. He's like, I know the answer. I know the answer. Let me the fuck in. Even though you gotta call in, you idiot. So he breaks in. It's about to call 911. DJ's like, oh shit. The DJ played by Ted Danson, you know, from Cheers. And so he's like, so Arnold is in there, and he's like, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. And Howard's like, I couldn't get through on the phone. Did I win? And then Myron busts in. It's like, and Howard turns to him and smiles, and he's like, too late. Got the answer. And he's like, and Myron's like, I don't need the right answer to win. And then this is just dumb. How Myron takes out a bomb. It's not really a bomb, but he takes out a box and he's like, it's a bomb. And Howard's like, you made a bomb? And Myron's like, nah, you idiot. Hundreds of these little buggers come through the post office every year. I lifted one, figured it might come in handy one day. Okay, you crazy psychopath. Just because apparently bombs go to the post office every fucking day doesn't mean you have to go stash one away just in case you need it. Alright, like it won't blow up. It's a bomb, you fucking dumbass. It's like, yeah, it's a bomb. So Myron's like, give me the doll or I'll blow the place up. And Howard's like, Myron, come on, buddy. Just give me the package. It's Christmas. I'm sure we can work something out. Myron's like, I'm not your buddy. You're the last person I want to work with. This all started with you. And Myron's like, we offered to team up. And you're like, no. You didn't want to team up, did you? So Howard and the DJ look at each other. In amazement. While, Myron, when he's caught up in his rant, he didn't, Myron didn't realize that it was just a music box and it started playing Jingle Bells. Like how the secret knock to get in the Santa warehouse was Jingle Bells, and how the fucking name of the movie is Jingle All The Way, for fuck's sake. And they're like, this is a bomb. Yeah, okay. The DJ's like, guys, I hate to bring this up now, but you really thought we had the Turbo Man in studio? Nah, we got a gift certificate, you dumbasses. He's like, yeah, you can pick one up in store when they get back in stock. Okay, because it's a gift certificate. But the cops come. And Myron's getting the fuck out of there. Knocking over cartridges and shit. Myron makes it to an elevator. But, the cops are there. And then Howard manages to get the fuck out of there. Somehow. And the cop is like, what the fuck? Oh. Howard nearly avoided the confrontation at the elevator by heading for the stairwell door. He yanked it open and was greeted by the fucking cop, Officer Hummel. The guy who arrested him for... Didn't arrest him, but he ticketed him for speeding while Arnold was trying to get to Jamie's karate thing. And then he gave him another ticket or citation or whatever when Arnold knocked over the cop's bike. And I'm pretty sure Officer Hummel was also there at the bust with the Santas that Arnold somehow, avoided. The cop's like, you can't stay out of trouble. And Howard backs up into the halls, joining Myron. And Myron tries to pull the whole fucking bomb thing again, alright? Because, why the fuck not? It worked so well the last time, didn't it? But Howard was like, yeah, right, okay. But all the cops backed off. Even Hummel put their guns down. And then Myron gets the cops out of the elevators. Puts the box down on the floor. And they get out. Or Myron does. So a young cop is telling Officer Hummel, the cop that keeps arresting Arnold. Not arresting Arnold, but ticketing him. Not to mess with the bomb. Hummel's like, Hummel was on the bomb squad for 10 years. And Hummel's like, he's shaking the box and shit, and he's like, oh, we've been duped. Howard was already getting the fuck out of there. Chasing after Myron, basically. And then once Howard and Myron are out of there, the package actually fucking blows up. And here it doesn't even it blows up. But it doesn't even it just says that Myron's like, shoot. He thought that it was a fruitcake. But it's way funnier in the movie when the thing actually turns out to be a bomb. Because Myron's like, he's not like, oh shoot, I thought that was a fruitcake. He's like, you can see the disgust on Sinbad's face. It's like, it's a nice throwaway line that I think was improv'd by Sinbad, but I'm not sure. But he's looking at the explosion and shit, and he's like, damn, people in this world are sick, or something along those lines. Because he's like, wow, people really did do that. And the Hummel's like charred, Looney Tune style. Wile E. Coyote gets blown up by a stick of dynamite and he's covered in soot, in dirt, and ash and stuff. And then somehow Howard gets a tow truck. And he's working on different apologies for Liz on the tow truck driver because, they couldn't have just fucking talked about something else or just sat there in silence. Arnold's got to try and fucking pull these lines on him. He tried a sterner tone. It's like, this doesn't really happen in the movie. In the movie, Howard gets a tow truck. He gets home. Here they add the whole part about, they add a whole thing in about Arnold trying to make up excuses or whatever. He's like, screw it. He gives up when they get to the house. But Arnold's got the gift certificate that he, swiped off the radio DJ in the panic, which is, whatever. Oh, and he's looking through the window, and fucking Ted's putting the star on the tree, and Howard's like, "What the fuck?" He's fucking out all day, and Howard's been out all fucking day, and Ted's in there fucking putting the star on the tree. He might as well be fucking my wife right now, which is basically what Ted wants to do anyway. So, he remembers that Ted was like, "Oh yeah, I got a Turbo Man for Johnny fucking months ago." It's like, it's under the tree. So basically, Howard's gonna go break into the fucking house and steal the goddamn Turbo Man doll. And so he breaks into the house. With the nativity scene in the house and everything. By the fireplace. Talking about how big the tree is and shit. And so Howard's looking at the toys under the presents under the tree. Right? And he hears a little, "It's turbo time." And he takes it. And so he sees a bunch of, he's trying to steal it. And he sees carolers at the front door, so he's going to go out the back. And he sees on it, on the present, that it says, "To Johnny, love Dad," And he's like, and Howard, aka Arnold, is like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm being an idiot. Stealing from a kid. I can't do that. You gotta face this shit like a man." And so he goes back inside Ted's house to fucking put the present back. When the goddamn reindeer shows up, and he's got to fucking run out the house, Arnold does, being chased by this reindeer. And since he was in a hurry, Arnold didn't close the door. The reindeer walked in after him, right? And so, in the panic of the reindeer hitting Howard in the fucking stomach, Howard knocks over the head of one of the wise men and it flies into the fireplace. And Howard couldn't get it out. So he gets the fuck out of there. So Howard gets chased through the house. And right when he was about to put the Turbo Man back under the tree, fire alarm goes off. So Howard goes in, trying to get the wise man's head out of the fireplace. Grabs the fire poker from the rack. Hooks the head. Out of the fire. Onto the carpet, which starts to fucking light on fire too. House is, the fire alarm's going off. Whole house is gonna burn down. And he did the only thing he could do and kick the damn head out the front window. So it goes out the window. Apparently lands near the feet of the carolers. And they start to scream and scatter, Ted saw this and he's like, what the fuck? Someone's in my house. And then Liz comes in, and then Liz follows because he's like, what the hell? Or she's like, what the hell? Because he's like, what the hell? Because they're both like, what the hell? So Howard's stomping on the carpet and trying to turn off the smoke alarm, but it was too high up to reach and take the batteries out. So he fucking just knocked it off the wall with the poker. And he still got the Turbo Man wrapped up, present in his hands. So right, just as he's putting the Turbo Man back, boom, Howard and Ted walk into the fucking house. And now Howard's just like, first off, he nonchalantly is like, oh, hi. And he's like, what the hell is going on? This is like, what the fuck you doing? And Howard's like, and this is like, what's that in your hand? And Ted looked up from, the burning wise man that he was weeping over. He's like, that's Johnny's Turbo Man. And this is like, what? And Howard is like, it's not what you think. And this is like, what? Oh, yeah. What is it? As far as I know, you already got him in Turbo Man. Weeks ago, my dude. Howard can't get a word in. And Liz thinks he's trying to steal a toy out from under the tree, which honestly he was. And Liz is like complaining about how she had to stay home with the son, telling him why his dad wasn't there. It's like, let me tell you the truth. And she's like, no, fuck off. Me and Jamie are going to the parade. All right. I want to salvage what's left of this shitty fucking day and go to the parade with my son. All right? And Howard's like, all right, let's go. Liz is like, no. Howard's like, what? It's like, no, fuck you. I think you better just stay at the fucking house. It'd be better that way. And she fucking leaves. And he's like, Howard's like, wait. And Liz doesn't even pay attention to him. She gets Ted to drive him. And Ted's just like, this is... He seems a little upset, but then he, it clicks in his mind that this could be his chance to get with Liz and bang. So he's like, how, honestly, Howard, on Christmas Eve, really? As if he's not trying to fuck Liz. Stupid Ted. And so Ted and Liz and the kids leave. And here it says, the sun's set and Howard's on the back porch. It says nursing a soft drink, but in the movie, you can clearly see that he's fucking drinking beer with the goddamn reindeer. It's not fucking soda. He ain't drinking Mountain Dew. Alright? He's drinking beer. Alright? Beer. And so... he's sitting back there drinking the beer with the reindeer. Howard looks at the clubhouse. He goes and he looks inside. He says he sees the picture that Jamie drew of him. The picture Jamie drew of himself with his mom and his dad. And Jamie and Dad are holding hands. And so, Howard's like, fuck, I gotta do something. So he gives the reindeer some more beer. And, he's gotta start keeping his promises. So, then it cuts to the parade. So Ted parks as close to the barricades as possible as I blow out the mic, speaking like right into it, like an idiot. And they're like, the parade's already started. And Johnny's like, hey, there's some kid and his dad we know. Can we go stand with them while you park the car? And Ted looks at Liz. And Liz looks at the son and then nods at Ted. And Ted's like, okay, we'll meet you there. All right. The boys get out the car. He's like, and Liz is like, don't wander off. And so they run to join their friend, apparently. And apparently they all wormed their way up to the front of the curb. And let's see what the book says is at the parade. An array of life-sized toys danced and marched in place right in front of the kids. Raggedy Ann and Andy, Mr. Machine, a row of nutcrackers, some G.I. Joes, Monopoly game pieces, Cabbage Patch Kids, a monster-size Etch-a-Sketch, in a fucking pink Corvette, Ken and Barbie, blowing out the mic again like an idiot. But in the real parade, there's fucking Gumby. There's goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog. There's fucking Bert and Ernie. Raggedy Ann was in the actual movie parade, and so was the Cabbage Patch Kid. But, like, the real fucking movie had fucking Sonic and Gumby, okay? The most ambitious crossover ever. Sonic and Gumby and fucking Bert and Ernie. For fuck's sake. Like, they're looking around, they're like, where the fuck's Turbo Man? They're like, oh. Johnny's like, yeah, they're saving him for last. And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, and fucking Cat in the Hat was in the parade, too, in the movie. They're like, oh, fuck yeah, Cat in the Hat. They're like, Cat in the Hat, fuck yeah. You're fucking hyped for Cat in the Hat, okay? But not fucking Sonic or Gumby or fucking Sonic, for fuck's sake. They're not hyped for Sonic. They fucking see Cat in the Hat, and they're like, oh, shit, it's fucking Cat in the Hat. That's dope as shit. Like, what the fuck? Oh, and by the way, that the whole fucking parade scene was shot at Universal backlots in like fucking June or some shit. So it's fucking hot as hell. But fucking Sonic and Gumby and getting hyped as fuck for Cat in the Hat. For fuck's sake. Alright, so cuts over to the fucking car. With Ted and Liz. And Ted takes out the thermos of the non-alcoholic eggnog and offers some to Liz. Apparently. Liz is like, nah, I'll be fine. Ted's like, this is when Ted really tries to smash. But like, Liz is like, alright, you're nice. And Ted's like, you deserve better, Lizzie. And Liz is like, Lizzie? And like, Ted's just really trying to fucking smash here. And Ted really just wants to get with Liz. Even he just wants to smash. He's like, I'm a very eligible bachelor, and a lot of women would want to smash like this, right in this fucking car, like idiots. Yeah, right. And then he goes in for the kiss, and the fucking book just triple asterisks, like at the fucking bottom. Like, you're not gonna show how Liz throws the eggnog in his face and fucking bolts, gets out to find the kids. So Arnold's in a fucking taxi trying to get to the parade. Everyone's trying to get to the parade if they haven't already been there. So he checks his watch and he's like, fuck. He tosses some cash at the driver and gets the fuck out of there. Gets the fuck out of the cab. He starts running. Somehow makes it into the back stuff, I guess. Oh. They established that Howard is now racing towards the car where Ted is trying to kiss Liz, right? And Howard sees like Ted trying to make it with Liz, and this is where, Liz is quick thinking, throws the fucking thermos at Ted's face, and fucking dumps the eggnog all over him. And then she gets the fuck out. And Ted's like, well, that didn't go as expected. Yeah. Okay, Ted, you trying to smash like this? Idiot. One, she's apparently happily married, even though in this, you know, it's not, doesn't seem like Liz and Howard are all too happy right now, at least. You know, but whatever. So, you know, Howard's running through the foot traffic, knocking stuff over, and he spills fucking. It says hot chocolate, but you know the cops drinking like coffee. Could be like a hot chocolate coffee mix thing. All over the cop. And the cop's like, off. Looks. He's like, it's you, Howard. So, the cop tries to draw his gun, but Howard gets the fuck out of there. He gets to the backstage areas now. Not really knowing where he was going. Ted just like walks into a warehouse. And he says that he gets into a warehouse. And he's surrounded by like a bunch of cops, all putting the finishing touches on the police department float. Because apparently shit is still in the warehouse during the parade. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. So he bolts out of there and goes to another warehouse that he thought, maybe this one's safer. Dead air while I fucking figure out before I blow out the mic while I figure out where the hell I am in this. So this is where Howard is he gets confused for the new guy that's supposed to be in the Turbo Man suit. It's like, yeah, I'm the guy. So the team of people put Howard in the suit, the Turbo Man suit. The other guy's like, yeah, you read the manual. We sent you. You know all about the controls. Let me just go through the changes. There are 3 cutoff valves for the nitro fluid. Blow out the mic while I say nitro fluid. Points to where they are. Pressure gauge. Shouldn't read more than 50, not 70 like they told him before, or that they told the other guy that's supposed to be doing this that isn't here for whatever reason. Points to where the emergency cutoff switch is. There's a microphone in the helmet that'll make your voice sound just like Turbo Man. And then there's this random thing, how this guy's like, let me speak for everybody when I thank you for filling in for Pete on such short notice. It was a total freak accident at rehearsal. We're confident that we've got all the kinks worked out of the system. Howard's like, what? It's like, oh, and the boss guy says like, oh, you should know. The doctor says Pete actually showed some brain functioning this morning. That's a really good sign. Like, they leave that in from the movie, but they, like, change the fact that, they hint that in the diner that Sinbad's drinking something heavier. Like, they keep that in. But they change the beer that Howard's drinking with the reindeer to soda. We all know it's beer. It's in the brown bottle. Like, soda in glass bottles is usually clear. Unless it's like, no. Unless it's like specialty stuff, I guess. But even Jones glass soda bottles are clear. I don't know. But they leave in the fucking part about the whole. Oh, and they take out the part where Myron's like, oh shit, that was a real bomb. Instead of fucking saying it was fruitcake. Leaving out the whole part of Sinbad being like, oh shit, that's a real bomb. Because this probably came out right around the same time the movie did, I want to say. So this is probably going straight off like the script and stuff. You know, but turning it into a book. And it doesn't capture the whole magic of the movie. Because none of these novelizations do. But, yeah, they leave out that part about the bomb. About Arnold drinking beer with the reindeer. But they keep in the part about the accident with the Turbo Man suit and the brain function and how Pete's a potato now. Because he's a vegetable. Wow. Bad joke. So the guy who's in the booster suit's like, where the fuck have you been? Been waiting for you. So Howard's like, oh shit, it's you, it's Booster. And the guy puts on the fucking Booster head. He's like, yeah, who do you fucking think I am, Mary Poppins? You fucking dressed as Turbo Man, dumbass. It's like, oh shit, I'm Turbo Man. So now Jamie and Johnny are chilling. On the curb waiting for Turbo Man. They had long since gotten tired of dancing toys and pretty girls riding in the local auto dealer's best cars. Shit like that. Parade shit. It's like, oh shit, here it is, Turbo Man. And the crowd goes fucking crazy. All the kids go fucking ape shit. The parents are like, oh, thank God. Finally, this shit's over. And Booster's like, fucking wave, dumbass. The people announcing the parade announce, Turbo and Booster and shit. It's like, oh yeah, and Turbo Man's gonna select a kid to fucking win a Turbo Man doll. Okay. Blow out the mic again like an idiot. And then lose my place like a complete dumbass. Fuck. Let me find out where the hell I am. Close enough. So, yeah, the parade people are like, oh yeah, Turbo Man's gonna pick out a kid, and a kid's gonna get the Turbo Man doll. And, you know, Booster gives Turbo Man the doll, and he's like, you gotta be holding this, gotta be waving and shit. Like, on your toes. Dementors, stunt demon kids who are gonna fucking come, the stunt part. Let's do this. Turn the page. Booster's like, hey, fucking pick a kid. Do I have to, like, walk you through all this shit, you dumbass? And so, Howard finally catches on. And Howard points at fucking Jamie, obviously, because it's his son. And then he fucking actually just says Jamie. Like, whoa, Turbo Man knows my name. So Johnny pushes fucking Jamie up. It's like, go do it. If you don't, I'm gonna fucking do it. So Jamie goes out and to the Turbo Man float. And, Turbo Man gives him the special edition doll, and he's like, Merry Christmas. And Turbo Man's like, no, Jamie's like, Turbo Man, how do you know my name? And Turbo Man is like, it's because he's gonna be like, I'm your dad. I'm your dad. But then the float stops, and it's like, oh no, kids. It's, Dementor. And this is when Sinbad, dressed up as Dementor, after he knocks a guy off on the roof and leaves him there for dead, basically, he starts flipping off the crowd. It's like, he's trying to steal the Turbo Man doll from Jamie. So this is like the final fight between Sinbad and Arnold as they're dressed as Turbo Man and Dementor. Kind of like to mimic the beginning of the movie where you see the Turbo Man episode. So they fight, and Jamie's trying to keep the toy while Myron's trying to steal it. It's like, oh no. Like, you gotta fight Dementor, save the kid. Come on, Turbo Man. Jamie put the fucking Turbo Man in his backpack, because apparently he had a backpack the whole time. Whatever. Jamie's like, use the turbo discs. And so Arnold shoots the stupid discs out of his wrist. Sinbad blocks them. Then the Devil Team kids come out to fight, and Arnold just like wrecks the shit out of them. And so, while this is happening, Jamie gets the hell out of there, climbs up onto a roof through a fire escape, and Sinbad follows him. And Liz gets the fuck up to like the front or whatever, trying to save her kid. Sinbad's like, give me the doll. And the fucking cop is like, oh, it's all part of the show. This is like, but that's my son. And the cop's like, oh, he's doing real good. This is like, that's not the fucking, that he's not part of the fucking show. The cop's like, no, he's not. This is like, no, you fucking idiot. And so Arnold's trying to fucking figure out how these stupid jetpacks work. And so he's in the middle of the air, and the jetpack stops, and he's like, oh, fuck, and he starts falling. So Jamie's climbing this Christmas tree. It's like, oh, fuck. And Sinbad's all like, oh, shit, come on, kid. You're gonna hurt yourself. But Jamie's like, yeah, you don't fucking care. You just want the toy. You fucking said that already. And so, while Arnold's falling on the fucking ground, he gets the jetpack working again. He starts flying away. So, a fake tree that just lights on like a metal frame starts falling. And Jamie's at like the top of it. And Sinbad's trying to get the toy. It says here in the book that it's an artificial tree, but in the movie it's just basically like the shape of a Christmas tree in like steel bars with lights wrapped around it, like the top of the building, or on top of a building anyway. So Sinbad's still trying to get the toy, while the trees, Jamie and the trees dangling off the side of the fucking building. And Jamie's like, use your turbo ring, Turbo Man. Your turbo bangarang. Your turbo bangarang. Your turbo boomerang. I'm a dumbass. And so he does that, and he fucking whacks Myron right in the fucking face. But Myron manages to fucking get the Turbo Man out of the backpack before getting slammed in the face by the boomerang. And he falls. And he lands in the arms of the giant fake cop. And all the cops start fucking pointing their guns at him. Look, drop it, bitch. Release the doll, moron. Mic blowout. This is Hummel saying it. So he drops the doll into the cop's arms and raises his hand. And then, Jamie's still hanging on for fucking life. But he falls. Oh shit, he dead. Not really, because fucking Arnold in the fucking jetpack gets him out of the fucking air. It's like, thanks, Turbo Man. I knew you'd save me. And Howard's like, glad you can count on me, even though I'm a shitty fucking dad and I somehow stole a fucking Turbo Man costume. And that has real fucking jetpacks. And shit. And so he lands. So Turbo Man Arnold Howard dude lands with Jamie in his arms, puts Jamie on the ground and gives Jamie back to fucking mom. It's like, here you go, ma'am. And Jamie's like, wow, did you see that? I was flying with Turbo Man. He saved me from Dementor. It was cool. Did you see it? Did you? And Liz is like, yeah, I fucking saw it, but I don't give a shit because you were in fucking danger and you're my kid and I was fucking worried as shit. This shit. He's like, thanks. Whoever you are, thanks. And Jamie's like, I wish Dad could be here to see me fly and all that. He would have loved it. But he didn't come. It's all my fault. He's mad at me. We had a fight on the phone and I kinda yelled at him. And Liz is like, oh, it's not your fault. And then Howard as Turbo Man is like, your dad's not mad at you, Jamie. I know that. For a fact. Your dad loves you more than anything in the whole wide world. You're his all-time favorite person. And Jamie's like, really? Blinking back some tears. Arnold's like, the problem was, he just didn't realize what was really important until it was almost too late and you fucking died. And I'm blowing out the microphone like a dumbass again. Great. Jamie's like, how do you know that? And just from the flip of the visor, he's just like, who would know better than me? It's like, what? Just because you had the visor on doesn't mean that Jamie might not tell that you're his fucking dad. Like, I know it's a helmet and shit, but fuck. But whatever. Like, holy shit. Howard's like, yeah, it's me. It's like, and he's like, you two are more important to me than anything. I'm sorry. It seems like I've forgotten you all lately, but I love you both. And so they hug. And fucking the cop, Officer Hummel, comes over behind him, holding out the Turbo Man. And he's like, I think this belongs to you, young man, and gives it to Jamie, right? And he's like, and for you, Turbo Man, well, we sure could use a man like you on the force. This is just fucking hilarious. Because Howard turns to shake his hand, like, with his face out and everything, and Hummel's just like, what the fuck? He was just fucking confused as hell. But, you know, Jamie fucking moved him over to Myron. He's like, Myron's like surrounded by cops, and he's like, I had the doll, it was right here in my hands, fuck. And Jamie looked at the doll and then looked at his dad. Then he walked up to Myron and gave him the fucking doll, and he's like, here, Merry Christmas. Myron's like, thanks, thank you, and he's fucking crying, and he's like, sorry about almost dropping you off that building, as I blow up the fucking microphone again like a dumbass and continue to blow it up while speaking right into it. Fuck. I'm stupid. Anyway. He's like, yeah, sorry about almost fucking killing you and dropping you off the building. I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted the doll. I didn't know I would almost fucking kill someone. Fucking stupid. It's like, eh. And Jamie's like, I don't need the fucking doll. I got the real Turbo Man right here at home. It's like, what? And so they all hug. It's like, oh. Then, like, Howard as Turbo Man carries Jamie back to the float. He's like, Turbo Man, hero, or the parade, and whatever. And Jamie's like, that's my dad, that's my dad. And so Myron's just like, he just fucking gives up. But just let me make this one final delivery. Please. That's like basically where the movie ends. But here it has like this extra 12th chapter, which is only like 3 pages long. 1, 2, 3, like 4 pages long. Just describing them at home, which I guess is supposed to be the end scene. Where like Johnny makes fucking Ted come over. He's like, hey Turbo Man, Johnny wants to play. Even though fucking Ted's pissed. But he's like, yeah, whatever. And then Ted tries to fucking pull off the whole, like, he's trying to make excuses for why he was trying to smash Liz. By like, oh, emotional and shit. And so Howard's like, so Ted is now being Howard's bitch. Because Howard makes him go clear the driveway and get some firewood and some milk and some freshly squeezed orange juice. And so Howard and Liz go sitting on the sofa. Jamie was showing Johnny how it was like to fly. And she's like, wow, you really do love your son. It's like, if you're willing to do all that just for a present for him. It's like, what you, and she's like, what you get me? And he's like, oh, bug-eyed and shit. And that's the end of the fucking movie. And I just threw the book across the room, like how Vern Troyer got fucking punched across the room by Big Show during the Santa fight, because that was fucking awesome. I've been doing this for 2 hours now. So happy 5th anniversary, Brad and Leslie, even though I should have said that at the beginning. And happy birthday, Brad. I should have fucking said this shit at the beginning, but I'm a dumbass. Oh well. Bye.